Hi everybody, it's Leanne. We're here today to do a Father's Day craft and card. So we're going to make a picture frame and decorate it. So what I chose is these assorted rocks. I got them from the dollar store as I did with the frame, and a bottle of tacky glue. You'll need something to protect your surface. If you didn't like the stones, get creative. You could use aquarium stones, twigs, go on a nature hunt and find some acorns and pine cones, some twigs to decorate your picture frame. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is take out either your glass or plastic, so you keep that protected. So just open up your frame and take that out and put that aside. So you just have your frame, and then you're just going to go around and decorate it. So we're going to put a little glue on the back, and you could keep them close together, your stones, or whatever you're using, or if you want a little bit of the frame poking through to kind of look like a mortar, you're the artist, you decide. So all you're gonna do is keep gluing away here and putting your stones down one after another to cover the picture frame. And just keep going. Okay, so I've got my rocks placed all around. It's going to need to dry. What you want to make sure you do is get around the edges any drips that have gone over, so you'll have a nice clean finish. And we'll put this off to the side until it's thoroughly dried, and then we'll put the frame back together. All right, next we're going to do a superhero dad. So I've got some cardstock. You want a piece of white cardstock, and then I've got a navy piece, but you could use black if you had that. What you need, ideal size is 8.5 by 11 for both those, and then some tissue paper. I was looking through what I had, and I didn't have orange. I wanted red, yellow, and orange with the white, but I've got two different shades of red here. But really, whatever color combination you would like will work. And then you're going to need some glue, a scissors, pen or pencil, and a ruler or something where you can get a straight edge from. To start with, you're going to take your 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, and you want to make it an 8.5 by 8.5 square. So you're going to take this top part and cut it away, and then you're going to take off one corner. So you're going to try to get a straight edge from one side to the other, and take that piece off. This is going to be our base for our superhero dad. So the next step would be, we actually want to cut out the center of this. So I'm going to flip the paper over, and I'm actually going to use a Sharpie. Hopefully you can see it better for this demonstration, but you should be able to see it in pencil. So I'm going to use just the width of the ruler, and I'm going to back it off right about here. And hopefully you can see that, but I'm just going to give myself a line here that I'm cutting. So that we're going to end up with a blue frame. I don't know if you can see that on the video. Next we're going to do is cut that out. So if you make a little hole, and then you can get to a better spot here to start cutting. I'm just gonna bend that over. All right. All right. Okay, super. So that's going to be the outside of our superhero frame. Then what you're going to do is take your tissue paper, and you don't need a whole lot. So if you just take off a little strip at the end, you probably could use the tissue paper again. So again, good trick, fold it over a couple times and it'll speed up your cutting. So we're just gonna make little squares. You don't have to have it perfect by any means. We're just gonna make a tissue mosaic. So you're gonna need a bunch of each color. So I've got my tissue cut up. Next, we're gonna take that white piece of cardstock and cut a little smaller than your frame. So I'm just going to run my line here so I know where to cut it. And this is going to be the back, so that's why you don't want it really peeking out and showing. Okay, so then we're going to use this as a mosaic. So what you're going to do is take your glue. You could use a glue stick if you had, or just regular glue, and put some on there and attach it like that. And we're just going to keep going with all your different colors. So I'm going to take that middle piece that we cut out and write Dad on here, and then cut those letters out nice and big. So I'll show you a trick if you're cutting out letters. If you fold it over slightly and then cut it, it's much easier to cut out the center of the D. It's also easier if you have a smaller scissors too. And then you can easily go in there and shape it up a little bit. So once you have your letters cut, and they don't have to be perfect, right? We're crafting with love, so. So then we're just gonna glue those on there. You can arrange them however you want over the mosaic, and then we're gonna glue those down. Then if you want, you can write a note to your dad on here. Make sure you sign your artwork. But you could put, "You are my superhero." And once you have those glued in place, you could put holes on the side with a hanger, some ribbon or string if you want to hang it up. So there you have the second craft. For a Father's Day card, you're going to need a piece of cardstock, can be any color, a piece of patterned paper. If you don't have any patterned paper, using markers to make your own design would be fine. I'm also going to use the back side because I've chosen the navy card, and you'll need to line it in order to be able to write in there. And then I've got a piece of black paper if you want to get really fancy and make a fork or spatula or something. You'll need a pen or pencil, scissors, glue stick. If you've got a piece of ribbon, you could always use a strip of paper as well. And then I have some little wood beads that I'm going to use to embellish it, but you wouldn't need to use that if you don't have any buttons, or even a brass tack would be nice too. And then tacky glue if you're going to use any of the buttons or the brads. So the first thing you're going to want to do is fold your 8.5 by 11 card in half, and then we're going to flip it to the inside of the card. And what we're going to do is make an apron out of there, so you need to cut armholes. So I switched to a white piece of paper, so hopefully you can see the line better. And I'm just going to cut through both pages. So that your card will be, and then we're going to take about 1 inch off the bottom. Okay, so that is going to be your apron. We're going to put it on the back of your textured paper, or you could color right on here if you wanted. And we're going to cut that out just a hair shorter so that a little bit of your card will show. Okay, so again, if you take your marker, just try to eyeball it here. And this I'm going to cut on the inside just to get that little bit. So if you're using textured paper, make sure your design is going the way you want. Especially if you have something that has something that could be upside down. Then once you have it cut out, we're going to glue it onto your card back. So take your glue stick and you're just going to glue and then place it on your card. All right, so that is the first part of your grill apron. Then let's open up the card and make a punch. And that's where we can put the apron string if you've got ribbon. If you don't, you can definitely use a strip of your cardstock. It's just more for decoration than anything. And make your neck loop there. Okay. And what you're going to want to do is just snip the ends. I don't have very sharp scissors. And then we'll just glue those down. So you got your neck loop. The other thing I was going to add, and again, you don't need to, was just a little button. I have a little wood button here. So I'll put that on there, and I'll get another one glued on there. The next thing we're going to do is put a pocket. So if you want, you could use the same paper that you have your design with. You could definitely add, you know, a contrasting color, whichever you want. And I think for this color, I'm going to use the same contrasting paper. I'm just going to fold it up so I kind of know where I want my pocket, the length or size. And then again, you're just going to cut it a little narrower. And then I'm just going to edge it with some of the white cardstock that we cut off before. Okay, so then again, we're going to take our glue stick, add that little bit of white trim, oops. And then glue the pocket on. Okay, so then if you really want to get fancy, you can add hamburger flipper or a fork in there that you cut out of black or, you know, dark paper. For sure you want to write something, Happy Father's Day, on the inside, and embellish it however else you want.